right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, you've heard the warnings about poisoned Halloween candy. But is that legit or legend? We verify.
Our autumn warm-up when it ends, when the wind calms down, and I'll time out the expected downpours.
But first tonight, just hours from now, a federal investigation begins at a St. Louis County elementary school after reports of radioactive waste.
Radium, thorium, and uranium on Jana Elementary school property on the very top soils.
Why some parents are doubtful it will bring change.
In just a few hours, some students in the Hazelwood School District will transition to virtual learning. It comes the same day as the St. Louis Army Corps of Engineers will begin taking samples inside of Jana Elementary School to test for those radioactive elements. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. This has been an ongoing story 5 on Your Side has been following for several weeks. And 5 on Your Side's Tracy Hinson spoke with parents who say they're weary of the Army Corps.
Parents I spoke with want the Army Corps of Engineers to test tomorrow, but they don't want only them to be there. This will be the first time the Army Corps will go inside the elementary school for testing. Tonight, community members want third-party, independent laboratories to verify the Army Corps' findings.
We believe this Monday morning go in after kicking out all the kids and the teachers by the Army Corps of Engineers and Department of Energy is not a good faith act. And we believe it is only to discredit and diminish the kinds of concerns the public has already brought to bear.
As PTA President Ashley Berna speaks on behalf of all Jana Elementary parents.
We urge the Army Corps of Engineers, even at this very late moment, to stop what they're doing and to consider bringing in third, fourth, or fifth parties that do not have existing contracts with the Army Corps of Engineers and Department of Energy to sample alongside of everyone.
This comes after an independent report from the Boston Chemical Data Corporation found high levels of radioactive contamination in the elementary school. Now parents want all of tomorrow's findings from the Army Corps made public.
Do not intermediary us any further. Let us have information that can let parents make good decisions so we can keep our families safe.
For some families, it's all too little, too late.
I've already sold my house and I'm moving, so I kind of gave up.
For William Johnson, he hopes Jana Elementary will be cleaned up and that free medical testing will be given to all people who were close to the school.
We've reached out to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers office in St. Louis. We have not heard back. In a statement released on Friday, the Army Corps says testing from Jana Elementary taken tomorrow. The results will be available in 2 weeks. It was a violent Sunday across St. Louis City. 6 separate shootings leave 3 people dead and 4 others hurt. The most recent homicide happened 3 hours ago in the city's Greatville neighborhood. Police found a man shot in the head on North Euclid, just north of Del Mar. Earlier this morning, 2 women were shot on Michigan and Loughborough. That's in the Carondelet neighborhood. Police say 1 woman died after being shot in the torso. The other woman was shot in the neck. She was taken to the hospital where she is recovering. So far, police have not made any arrests. According to 5 on Your Side's records, there have been 160 homicides in St. Louis City in 2022. Tonight, all lanes are back open on Highway 141 after a 15-year-old bicyclist was hit by a car in Fenton. This is what the chaotic scene looked like around 8 o'clock. The crash happened near Graveway Bluffs Boulevard. Missouri State Highway Patrol says the bicyclist illegally crossed the street when the driver of the car hit him. The 15-year-old was rushed to the hospital in serious condition. Right now, the city of Festus is under a boil advisory. It comes after a large water main broke last night. Due to the boil advisory, classes are canceled for students at Festus R6 schools. Tonight, the water main break is fixed, but that advisory remains in effect until further notice. Just a few hours ago, we learned the boil order in Edwardsville has been lifted. It was caused by a brief power outage at the city's water treatment plant on Friday. Tonight, the water is safe to drink. Let's get to meteorologist Jim Castillo looking at the work and school week for us. Jim?
Yeah, it's amazing how warm and windy and dry it's been. So, Ann, we're going to see another warm and windy day tomorrow, but you notice that uptick in humidity, and also the clouds are moving in. We've had some isolated showers and also a couple of isolated thunderstorms, even one in Pike County earlier. Why? Well, there's a very large, very strong autumn storm developing, and it's just to the west of us. You see that south wind ahead of it. Gusts tonight to 30 miles an hour. Same for tomorrow, even on Tuesday now. But the clouds are moving in, and let's zoom into Montgomery County, Illinois. A couple of showers popped up there, first hitting Ramsey and now moving on out of the viewing area. So we'll be watching that. But most of the night, it's just a lot of clouds and windy. Can't rule out that spot shower. South wind 10 to 15, gust to 30, and low temperatures everywhere in the 60s. But this is the big focus. So here comes a cold front by late tomorrow, and it's tomorrow night. Waves of showers, even some thunderstorms, downpours, and then here comes low pressure as it moves right overhead. So how much rain will fall? I'll time it out for you coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
We're used to going to house fires where you see a house destroyed, but when you see 20 in a small little community like that, that's just devastating for those guys.
Tonight, we're getting a look at some of the damage left behind from a nearly 5,000-acre fire in Cooper County, Missouri. That's just outside Columbia. The flames forced several people to evacuate. Even roads near Kansas City were shut down today due to the smoke. Several area agencies like the O'Fallon Fire Department stepped in to help fight this fire. O'Fallon firefighters say this weekend's weather was the perfect recipe for the flames to start.
So you got warm weather, low humidity, and then you add to it these high winds, and things can get out of control. So if I can give a message to the viewers, it's please don't burn today. No leaf burning. I would even venture to say be very careful with like a recreational fire pit.
Right now, the fire is under control. We're told one person was hurt and is expected to survive. With less than 3 weeks from the midterm election, a reform-minded group of black police officers want voters to make a change in St. Louis County. The Ethical Society of Police tells our political editor Mark Maxwell why they're endorsing a Republican.
Obviously, the elephant in the room is black officers or black people in general endorsing a Republican candidate is news, and we understand that.
The last time the Ethical Society of Police endorsed a politician for public office, it backed progressive Democrat Tashara Jones for mayor of St. Louis. But this time is different. St. Louis County Police Lieutenant Ray Rice sits on the board and explained why they're backing Mark Mantovani in St. Louis County.
We have been doing the work, and most of that work has been aligned with the principles of the Democratic Party. However, in the last 4 years, we have seen something in the county executive that has failed to address those same issues in a meaningful way.
In an interview Wednesday on The Record, Mantovani explained why he won their endorsement in his bid to unseat Sam Page.
I think people in St. Louis County have seen enough of political infighting.
Were you surprised or disappointed to see their decision?
There are members of their leadership who drive that decision, but I don't always get every endorsement of every group and in every election. And that's just what happened here.
This is all unincorporated St. Louis County.
Rice drove us through areas he once patrolled and said manpower isn't the only challenge facing police, and smart policies could help reduce their workload.
The number one thing we should try to do is not have repeat offenders and mitigate the amount of time that police officers are dealing with the same individuals on a daily basis, right? This is a never-ending cycle. We're treating cancer like it's, like with Robitussin. And what we need to do is treat it in a way that is a holistic approach.
To break that cycle, Rice urges voters to change their habits.
Democrats have been in positions of power in the county executive seats for decades.
He hopes a new voice at the top could attract investment and jobs to areas in desperate need of both.
I don't know how often, if at all, the county executive himself has driven through the neighborhoods that I'm talking about. There's no way that this would be allowed to occur in different sections of the county. I mean, think about it. Would any of this be allowed in West County?
And what if Mantovani can't turn things around?
Then we'll be here 4 years encouraging voters to hold him accountable by voting for the opposition.
Reporting in Castle Point, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
The Page campaign has endorsements from labor, environmental, and pro-choice groups. Page will make his case for re-election on the record next Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Still ahead, reports of contaminated candy mean parents have another reason to be scared this Halloween. After the break, we're verifying how common legitimate reports really are.
Warm and windy to start your week, but get your rain gear ready. I'll time out when we'll see downpours and possible thunder.
When fall comes around, we definitely do dread the cleanup.
Struggling to clean up the leaves on your lawn? The 3 things you can do to save time and energy.
And be with us for Sports Plus in about 20 minutes. Imagine not being able to see, but being able to play the sport of hockey. You are going to meet an amazing young man. And how about this for a guest list? The 2 guys who were once traded for each other, Red Berenson and Gary Unger, and who will be going into the Blues Hall of Fame together. Now, Red had that historic 6-goal game. Has he ever seen video of that performance?
No, the game was on television, but back at that time, the TV stations would erase the whole game as soon as it was over. There were no replays, there were no highlights, and so I never saw anything. I don't think anybody has anything of that game.
Plus, the SLU women's soccer team can't lose, and neither can the St. Louis Blues. Those stories and more coming up. See you in 20 minutes for Sports Plus.
This 5 on Your Side newscast is sponsored by the St. Louis College of Health Careers. Come here and go anywhere.
At 5 on your side, we put weather first. It impacts your commute, your job, your family. For the Weather First team, that's our priority. The 5 on your side Weather First team, focused on you.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Sonata. Get 1.9% APR or up to $1,250 bonus cash on the Sonata with new inventory arriving daily. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
On the issue of abortion, the Republican nominee for governor, Darren Bailey, has made his extreme views clear.
I think we're going to end this abortion thing. I think we're going to end this travesty. God is not going to heal our land until we repent of our ways.
Once Roe versus Wade is overturned and once abortion is made illegal, then we have to turn around. That's not where it stops.
If somebody were raped or there was a pattern of incest in the family, would you allow that woman to have an abortion?
Right now, my answer is no.
Hey neighbor, you switched to T-Mobile home internet yet? Trim your hedge. It's $50 a month with no price hikes. Bam! It runs on T-Mobile's wireless 5G network. So all you gotta do is plug in one cord.
T-Mobile 5G home internet. Just $50 a month. No price hikes, no hidden fees.
I did it.
Oh!
I switched to T-Mobile home internet and I am loving it.
Don't sneak up on me like that.
Why didn't you tell me to switch earlier?
It's Watson's new fall arrival sale. Right now, save an additional $750 to $2,500 on all spas. Save up to 75% on all remaining outdoor patio furniture, fire pit groups, and more. Enjoy great family fun with a new pool table or shuffleboard. Your choice from only $19.99. And save 20 to 40% on home theater seating and all reclining sofas and sectionals. Plus, get interest-free financing till 2024.
Tonight, we have an important recall to tell you about before you cook breakfast tomorrow morning. Bob Evans is recalling its Italian pork sausage products. It comes after the company received complaints that pieces of thin blue rubber were found in the meat. The raw pork sausages were made on September 8th with a use-by date of November 26th. There have been no reports of illness from the recall. Every year around Halloween, parents are asked to check their kids' trick-or-treat bag for dangerous items and contaminated candy. The latest rumor warns parents about rainbow fentanyl. Ariane Till with our Verified team explains why there's really no need to panic.
In the weeks leading up to the spookiest night of the year, many local news reporters and police departments warned parents about people potentially tampering with their kids' Halloween candy. And that left parents wondering what could end up in their kids' trick-or-treat bag.
From razor blades to needles and even marijuana-laced candy. This year, rainbow fentanyl is the new scare. But is there any truth to these claims? Let's verify. Are legitimate reports of contaminated Halloween candy common? Our sources include 4 police departments, a criminal justice professor, and the National Confectioners Association. The National Confectioners Association ran a Halloween candy hotline from 1982 to 2012 for police and poison control centers to report contaminated candy in the U.S. In an email to Verify, an NCA spokesperson confirmed they no longer track these reports, but, quote, agree anecdotally that these are typically isolated, rare, false reports and/or hoaxes, unquote. Joel Best, a sociology and criminal justice professor at the University of Delaware, has researched reports of Halloween candy tampering in the U.S. dating back to the 1950s.
I can't find any evidence that any child has ever been killed or seriously hurt by a contaminated treat picked up in the course of trick-or-treating.
The Verify team reached out to several police departments across the country that had previously received reports of potentially contaminated Halloween candy in the last decade.
Last year, the Ben Salem Police Department in Pennsylvania confiscated 50 marijuana-laced edibles from a man that intended to sell them within the state. The edibles mimicked popular snack brands. According to Frederick Herron, director of public safety for the Ben Salem Police Department, the incident was not connected to Halloween and confirmed his department hasn't received any reports of contaminated candy being given to children in the past. In 2015, police in Winchester, Indiana, received reports about a razor blade found in a candy bar. That same year, needles were reportedly found in Halloween candy in Blackwood, New Jersey. According to local police, both reports were determined to be hoaxes. There are some legitimate claims out there. According to the Waterbury Police Department in Connecticut, back in 2019, a man was arrested after parents found razor blades at the bottom of their kids' trick-or-treat bags. Police confirmed the children were not injured or hurt. Waterbury PD says it is not aware of any incidents prior or since that incident occurred. So we can verify that no, legitimate reports of contaminated Halloween candy are not common. According to the National Safety Council, it's cars, not candy, that pose the biggest threat to kids on Halloween. Their data indicates children are more than twice as likely to be hit or killed by a car on Halloween than any other day of the year. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
With all the natural disasters we've seen over the past few months, FEMA wants to help you make your home stronger and safer. Tomorrow, FEMA will be answering your questions and give free advice to protect yourself against flooding. They'll give you tips on techniques to rebuild your home and how to reduce your disaster risk. FEMA will be at 3 Home Depots across the St. Louis area, Bridgeton, Brentwood, and Kings Highway. You can stop by Monday through Wednesday from 8 to 6. Even though it's warm today, it'll start to feel like fall in the next few days. One organization is getting ahead of the game. Today kicks off the Warner's Warm-Up, the annual coat drive from area organizations, including Kurt Warner's Foundation. People dropping off jackets by the carload for folks who need them. For information on how you can give, look for this story under the Project 5 tab of our website, ksdk.com. Jim joins us again. You've been tracking the upcoming rain this week all day. How does it look?
Well, the most we have seen this month, and we haven't said that in a long time.
We haven't gotten much.
No, not at all. In fact, probably just over 1/4 of an inch so far this month, but lots coming, and I'll time it out for you Monday night and into Tuesday. Tuesday's high, by the way, in the afternoon, 50s, so you need your jacket, you need the rain gear, and here it is, the camera shaking. What a warm night it is. There's the arch. And 71 degrees at this hour. The high today just below 80, 79, 64 for the overnight low, and 66 and 46 are the averages, and the record high 86 in 1939. No rainfall, but we've had some isolated showers, even some thunderstorms that have popped up around Pike County earlier today with some lightning. Other than that, it is dry. 74 degrees. Notice this, mostly cloudy right now. Clouds are moving in already. 52% on that humidity. Dew point has been climbing, so the air is getting ready for that rainfall coming in tomorrow night, especially. So 60s tonight for lows. The wind is still up, some of the wind gusts to 30 miles an hour. Here's this deepening area of many areas of low pressure, but it's just one huge autumn storm system. And that southerly wind gusts to 30 miles an hour tonight, tomorrow, and even when that low moves around the area Tuesday, Still some gusts to about 30 miles an hour. So it's Wednesday when we say goodbye to this wind. Other than that, we have cloud cover moving in. Can't really rule out a spot shower. Let's zoom into Montgomery County. And right around Ramsey, we had a shower earlier. That's moving to the east of St. Elmo now. And on the futurecast, check this out. So tomorrow night at about 10 o'clock, we'll start to notice more widespread rain in here. And then when you see the yellows and oranges, that's the widespread downpours, and that's throughout the night, overnight tomorrow night, and into Tuesday. Now watch this. Some of this becomes golden and also yellows and a little bit of red. Thunderstorms can't be ruled out, not expecting severe weather, but definitely some very heavy rain at times. And then another wave coming in as we head into the evening hours Tuesday, finally getting rid of this by late in the evening on Tuesday. So watching the radar, and then finally the wind probably still kicking up late Tuesday into early Wednesday, and then we'll finally say goodbye to that wind Wednesday. All right, so how much rain? Look at this. Rolla, about 2.45 inches. That's an estimate. This could all shift a little bit to the east, so 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. Haven't seen that in a while. And then Roslyn was a Category 4 hurricane, made landfall as a Category 3, now just a remnant low. But wanted to point out the moisture moving into Texas. That storm system's kicking it up and into the area, so we'll just watch that mid-level moisture pushing in too. So 78 tomorrow, windy. Tuesday 59 in the afternoon, rain and some thunder. Then clearing up Wednesday and some spotty showers over the weekend. But Ann, looks like those temperatures staying in the low 60s this weekend.
So still windy on Wednesday. We don't want to rake our leaves until after Wednesday.
Well, after probably, I think Wednesday we'll finally see it dying down, which is good.
And nothing's worse than you get out there, you rake them all,
right,
and they blow right back.
Absolutely.
Coming up, speaking of that, preparing for winter, the top tips to help clear the leaves from your yard. Tonight, some of us would love to leave fall cleanup behind us and never look back, but it doesn't have to be so backbreaking and time-consuming. Consumer Reports experts share 3 of their top tips to help you clear the leaves and fall back in time this autumn. Here's Mike Bush.
When fall comes around, we definitely do dread the cleanup. It becomes a weekly task.
To keep on top of the fall leaves, Cynthia Welker enlists the help of her 2 boys.
It's almost like a bribe.
Consumer Reports' Paul Hope has 3 leaf removal tips to keep your fall cleanup in check. Coming in at number 1, an obvious but often overlooked tip: avoid breezy days.
Lots of people use weather apps to check things like temperature and whether there's rain in the forecast, but it's also a good idea to look for wind gusts before you start sweeping leaves.
Tip number 2, use a tarp to get those leaf piles from one spot to another faster. After you've gotten the bulk of your leaves out of the way, take a tip from CR and Cynthia and shred.
I have my tractor that we use, and that picks up all of the leaves, and it makes life 1,000 times easier.
Mulching your leaves actually solves 3 problems. For starters, it's a great way to use up the leftover gas in your mower's tank before winter's storage, but it also helps get rid of your leaves and feeds your lawn.
When you shred your leaves with a mower, they turn into nutrient-rich compost for your lawn. If you want to save even more time and effort, give your rake a break and consider a leaf blower. This Toro clears leaves at an impressive speed, and because it's battery-powered, it's quieter. If you don't mind being tethered to a cord, this electric blower, also from Toro, costs less than $100 and performs nearly as well as the battery-powered model. It's pretty noisy, though, so you'll need to wear hearing protection. Mike Bush, 5 on your side.
CR says you can also use your mower's bag attachment when you mulch your leaves, and then use those clippings as a bedding around your shrubs. Just be sure to clear away the whole leaves underneath first. It was a successful opening day for High Point Drive-In's expanded restaurant in Baldwin. It's a mini version of the popular concept in both size and menu. It will serve High Point signature burgers, fries, and shakes inside the 2,000 square foot space on Manchester Road. We caught up with an employee who tells us today was a great turnout.
Opening day has been amazing. The community in Baldwin has really showed up for us here today. Super busy. I mean, it's been packed all day. As you can see, happy faces all around.
The burger joint donated 50% of its sales today to the Little Bit Foundation. Coming up, free Lion's Choice for a year. The giveaway that'll have you searching your meal for a golden ticket. Tomorrow night, $610 million is up for grabs in the Powerball jackpot. This marks the 8th largest jackpot in the Powerball's 30-year history. The $610 million prize has a cash value payout, about $292 million. The next drawing is tomorrow night. And if you love Lion's Choice, this story is for you. The St. Louis restaurant is celebrating 55 years with a golden ticket giveaway. 5 lucky foodies in the St. Louis area could win free sandwiches for a year. Starting tomorrow, you'll want to check your order for a golden surprise. The contest runs through Friday. Winners will get instructions for how to officially claim their prize. And that's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. Thank you for watching. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.